We
Thank
saw
you.
it.
I commend the younger generation for doing the deep dives into the bloodthirst of the military-industrial complex and our endless wars. And it's absolutely embarrassing to watch older generations attack them, gaslight them, and conflate being against genocide as being pro-terrorism. I've always found it disgusting when the old eat the young. And TikTok has really grabbed them by their busted wigs. They're so threatened by TikTok. TikTok, TikTok. The jig is up. They can blame this awakening on the heavy-handed overreach of the corporations that we witnessed in 2020. Many woke up to the demoralizing fact that the media is not our friend. In fact, the younger generations are talking media malpractice. Hopefully they will look into the Smith-Mundt Act that Obama passed that made it legal for the American citizens to be propagandized. I'm sure you are familiar with the uproar last week that the young TikTokers, as they like to refer to them, just by reading a letter that had been available for over 20 years on the Guardian site, a letter from Osama bin Laden entitled Letter to America. I'll let one of them explain.
So let me get this straight. People simply go online and read his letter to America. We're just reading it, what he plainly said. And you have to get it taken down from the website? Remember when I said education is the biggest tool against oppression?
I'm so glad they are doing their own deep dive research into America's so-called villains. And I can't wait till they get around to Muammar Gaddafi. But the thing about Osama bin Laden, wasn't he allegedly trained by our CIA? By the way, I do recall the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, Benazir Bhutto. She had a different timeline as to when Osama bin Laden was unalived. And unfortunately for her, she was also unalived, and I'm not sure the details of it. You know, of course, we're not tinfoil conspiracy theorists. And the younger generation is not wrong to demand accountability from America's war criminals. I'm predicting that a lot of their research roads are going to lead them to 9/11. And I'm looking forward to seeing what the younger generation does to deconstruct that pretext to a lot of the wars that we are seeing today that has ravaged the Middle East. Many of us believe that it was an inside job. I appreciate the work that's been put in by the architect, Richard Gage, and his wife Gail. They have done an extensive job of researching 9/11, and they have very up-to-date information. You can look them up. And also, I would like to pay an honor to the memory of Barry Jennings. He is very key also to understanding the 9/11 narrative. The young generation is also questioning all the wars that are going on the African continent. You have Sudan, Congo, Ethiopia, and Obama was used to do a lot of harm to Africa. And he spoke of collective blood on our hands. And all of this talk of collective blood, collective punishment, it's really creating a peace movement 2.0, and the young will lead this. All of the old gaslighting tricks are not working on the youth. They are deconstructing our history, and I am applauding them. They are fighting the censorship. They are making plans for alternative sites. So you can shut down TikTok. They're going somewhere else. This will not stop. What's amazing also is that many of us are deconstructing what we've learned in the church, which now we see how they're trying to force all of the apocalyptic scriptures. They're trying to pretend that they are going to build a third temple. A lot of us realize we are not on that timeline anymore. We are in the short season of Satan. The inherited lies through the church culture, that was a hard one to deconstruct and accept, because I was a big believer in the rapture, in the Antichrist being one man, and all of the, Tim LaHaye and Left Behind, the third temple being built and everything. Now that I can see my vision is adjusted, and I can see the timeline more clearly. And yeah, sure, we want to be special and live through the tribulation. But again, one of the things I realized about the church culture in America is that in 2020, the churches let the people down in a way that there's no way the church in America could stand up to an antichrist that has been splashed across screens in Hollywood movies, How would the church be able to stand up to something like that when they couldn't stand up to a virus? Lastly, I was pondering just how unfortunate our culture has become so dystopian that wishing for world peace is some silly meme of a beauty contest answer.
I would have to say world peace. Definitely world peace.
That's easy.
World peace. World peace.